This is the 2025 Hyundai Tucson SEL. Is it better than ever? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today I borrowed this Atlantis blue with gray interior Tucson from my friends at Mike Morgan Hyundai in Shreveport, Louisiana. If you want to know more, check out the link down in the description of the video. So let's talk about what this refresh brings as far as the exterior goes. We're going to find larger elements here on the front end and a reduction of the daytime running lights from 10 down to 8. So you've got the two up here on the top, going to be on each side. Obviously I have the daytime running lights and the hazard lights turned on, and then the two below that makes our 8 as far as that goes. You will also find the anodized aluminum exterior badges. Now there is one more change to talk about on the exterior as far as this trim level goes. I'll tell you what that is when we get to the rear of the vehicle. But I'm going to go ahead and go over the particulars in case this is something you want to buy so you know what else is here. This model is front wheel drive, by the way. The tire and wheel setup width is 235, 60 for your sidewall, and 18-inch wheels. As far as your side view mirrors go, they're manually folding. There is no turn signal indicator built in, but they do have the blind spot monitoring built in. They're power adjustable, and they are heated. So here is our remote for 2025. No changes where that's concerned, but you do have a remote start right there. I know that's what a lot of you are looking for more than anything else based on the comments that you often leave in my videos. One change that is not seen on this trim level, if you went XRT, you're going to see the raised bridge-like roof rails. That's going to be something you'll find there, but you won't find it here. And the thing I really like here is that Hyundai tucks away the rear window wiper inside of the rear spoiler, the roof spoiler right here. That's nice. It's not exposed back here. But the reason I bring that point up is because that rear window wiper has increased in length by 3 inches. Under the hood is the 2.5-liter four-cylinder that makes 187 horsepower and 178 pounds-feet of torque. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. You can go front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive with these Tucsons. And let's take a look at the MPGs. We're looking at 25 city, 33 highway, 28 combined, 3.6 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. If you're curious to know, you do not have capless fuel fill. You instead have the more traditional, or maybe I should say in a way old school, because it seems to be going by the wayside gas cap. And when you fill up, it has a potential to hold 17.7 gallons of gas. You will find a power tailgate with a few different options for opening that, one of which being the button I just pushed there on the tailgate itself. 14.6 up to 79.6 cubic feet of cargo capacity. You can pull on the release on each side to lower the seats. You will have to manually put those back up. That seat will snap down into place. It just for whatever reason didn't quite make it. And you'll find some cargo lighting back here, a little hard to see with the bright Louisiana sunshine today. We're also going to find a 12-volt power outlet right there. And underneath the floor, something that I know is of great interest to a lot of you, a spare tire. And just so you see that I wasn't lying to you, yes, you can make these seats fold down fairly flat. Small amount of an angle, but I just wanted to show you that you can lock that down into place. And to release those, you just pull up on the release right there. You can put those back in place. Nice wide door openings back here make it very easy to gain access to and from the second row seating. A very large armrest, plenty of space here, and well, I would call that a bottle holder. That is not a door bin. It's more of a bottle holder, although other things could fit in there when there's not a bottle in place. And to answer a question that a lot of you have about these vehicles, you can see how far back I have the seat on the left-hand side there reclined, our right, but the driver's left. So these seats do recline on both sides. That's always nice to know. And we'll hop inside here and find a seat pocket on the rear of the seat right here. And good news for those of you who like to have vehicles with air conditioning vents for your rear seat passengers, they are here. And we also have some connectivity down there in the way of USB options. No sunroof in this particular case, but obviously that is something that is available. And then we'll have our fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in. Before we finish showing you what's new here, I know you want to know what the sticker price is on this particular model, the 25 Hyundai Tucson SEL, $32,205, at least at the Mike Morgan Hyundai dealership in Shreveport, Louisiana. So let's see what else you have here as far as the passenger seat goes. It is manually adjustable, but it is heated. You do have a power driver's seat, also heated. And your typical controls will be right here. I'm not going to show you much because I can't, because these are freshly tinted windows. Well, actually, you know what? I can show you a little bit because I can peel that sticker back some. We just won't roll the windows down. But there's everything you're used to seeing. No changes where that is concerned. Here is your steering wheel with your steering wheel mounted controls. But you can really already see the big changes here. The dual 12.3-inch screens for your digital instrument display for the driver and the infotainment screen right here. A very simple system to use, so don't let it fool you and think it's complicated because it may look that way. It really isn't. I like what I see here. I like what Hyundai has done. They have made this very easy to work with. And depending on your driving mode, let's go through our driving modes here real quick. You have My Drive, you have Sport, and you have Normal. So depending on your driving mode, well, it'll give you what you want depending on your situation. And one thing I did want to show you here before we move on, of course, here's your shifter. Right down here, that's where I selected my driving modes. You can see all the other features here. But in case you're not familiar, depending on your personal preference for the auto stop-start system, notice that when you push that button, the light comes on. Now, you might think that means that the auto stop-start is on. When that light is off, the auto stop-start is actually on. So, something to consider right there. So, what I'm going to do, you can see where the icon was right here. So, now you can see that the icon is present. Now it's not. And you'll notice that when it's not, there is the light. Kind of an interesting thing. And we'll also find some physical controls here for the radio, for changing the volume and the station and all that good stuff, and for the dual zone climate control right here. Also, this is how you turn on your heated seats for the driver right there, obviously for the passenger over there. And you can see some of our USB options here in the front seat. There is a wireless charging pad right here. A little bit hard to see, but your phone does fit down in there nicely. In my opinion, that actually works pretty well. It has a little bit of an angle to it, and the advantage to that, and that angle is going down this way. Notice how it's pointed down towards the front of the vehicle. That means if you accelerate, not that there's a ton of power to accelerate here, but your phone isn't moving around or taking turns or whatever. It seems to fit rather snugly in there. Well, it depends on your phone. So, how about your backup camera? There it is. You can see what you have where that's concerned. Nice bright trajectory lines. We also have some space over here above the glove box area. Nice to see that being used. More automakers seem to be making use of that space. Nothing unusual here. The glove box, there that is. Plenty of space where that's concerned. And remember I showed you only had those bottle holders in the rear seat area? Well, up here you have a true door bin, quite a bit more space. And I did want to go back to the infotainment screen if you're wondering if this is all there is. Well, no, there isn't. If you go to Setup right here, here's where you get all of your different icons. Makes it a little bit easier to find maybe what you're looking for. So if you want to go to, say, Screen Layout, you can go right there and make changes and do whatever you want to, screen saver or split screen or whatever it is you'd like to do. We can hit our back button right there and go back. A lot of this is so simple that I don't think you even need me to really show you too much, but I just wanted to show you what's here. You even can go in here to drive mode if you want to. There's so much you can do where this is concerned. You can go to climate, lights, doors, all that kind of stuff. Drive mode change alert, if you want that to be on, well, you can turn that on, or you can just leave that off. That's probably what I would do. But I did want you to see a few of the features that are here, and depending on trim level will obviously depend on what you see here and what you can do as far as you configure everything and how you set everything up. Over here on the passenger side, one thing I like is that it seems that more automakers are starting to make use of this area that typically just had some kind of trim over it, and there was nothing behind it. Well, you can use that area for storage if you want to. Now, nothing unusual here. You still have your good old-fashioned glove box. And over there on the passenger side, that's a true door bin. At least that's what I would say, compared to what we saw in the rear seat area. There isn't a lot to talk about as far as the upper console goes, but I did want to show you what's here. You can obviously turn on your map lights right there, and you can see some of the options that are here as far as the different buttons and different things you can use depending on what you need. Okay, let's get out on the road for a test drive. The steering feels nice and responsive. I like that. You know, with this front-wheel drive version, it doesn't feel like front-wheel drive. Now, some of you probably say, well, of course not, Tom, it never has. Well, maybe not in your lifetime. There was a time many decades ago, maybe not even that long ago, when you knew if you were driving a front-wheel drive vehicle. It was just the way it handled and the way the steering responded. It was very different than what most vehicles have now, so that's always a good thing. The ride quality seems to be good to me, although I haven't had a lot of time on a multitude of roads with the Tucson, but I think it does well. The seats themselves, these are cloth seats, by the way. It's hard for me to say for sure what it would be like on a road trip, on a long road trip for a few hours of driving time or just sitting as a passenger, but they seem as if they would be okay based on what little time I have here in the driver's seat. And one thing, speaking of that, there is a lot of adjustability built here into this driver's seat, so somebody who is in excess of 6 feet tall should be good as far as being able to fit here and be comfortable. Plus, you have a tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel, a very tight turning radius, by the way. That was very easy to make that turn, that legal U-turn right there. And you have lumbar support with the driver's seat. Not on the passenger seat, but with the driver's seat. So if you're wondering about that, there's the answer to that question. The acceleration is actually pretty good. If I ease into the pedal, it actually accelerates quite well. If I floor it, it doesn't seem to move as quickly. So easing onto the pedal is really just seems to work better. That happens a lot with motors like this. And just try that out sometime and you'll see what I mean. Now let me do one thing. Let me go back to a different driving mode. Really can't tell a difference between, I was in sport mode. I really can't tell a difference, but if you're curious about that, there you go. There isn't really a big difference from what I can tell between the different driving modes, but a very enjoyable vehicle to drive, easy to get around with. It is a nice vehicle if you live in a really big city with a lot of traffic, tight confines when it comes to parking. Well, obviously this is something that's perfect if it suits your needs. It will do very well for you. And the thing that I like, last but not least here, the technology is very easy to deal with. I really talked about that earlier in the video, but I want to make sure you know that this is not difficult technology to learn or use. It may look that way because it has a different look than what we've had in the past, but this is not something new to Hyundai. It's new to the Tucson, but not to Hyundai. It looks different, but it's still simple. That's always a good thing. You can't go wrong there. Always nice to have easy to learn and easy to use technology. So overall, a very well-rounded vehicle that is easy to see out of. If you're having any trouble, you do have that blind spot monitoring built into your side view mirrors, but really not a major issue as far as a blind spot goes if you look over your right shoulder. And you have a brake and a gas pedal that are pretty easy to manage. I don't find the brake to be overly aggressive or anything along those lines. So a well-rounded vehicle, fun to drive, inexpensive in this day and age. I know a lot of people might say it's overpriced, but as far as these days go, not too bad. So tell me what you think about the 2025 Hyundai Tucson SEL. Is it better than ever? Tell me what your thoughts are down in the comments section. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends at Mike Morgan Hyundai for loaning me this Tucson for the day, and a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe, that way you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.